Hey guys, welcome back. Starting with a bare face, we're going to use the Hourglass Veil Primer. This is a beautiful primer for brides just because it's super brightening and it makes anything you put on top of it waterproof. And then I'm going to go in with my Makeup Forever Step 1 primer, and this is just a smoothing primer to help even out the skin texture. And then we have our Naked Skin Weightless Ultra Definition Foundation. I love this foundation for brides. You can mix the different colors and customize your colors super easily, but it's also super gorgeous in photos because it's an HD foundation. This foundation has been one of my favorites also because it's very easy to layer. So if you're wanting to build more coverage or have lighter coverage depending on the bride and her skin, you totally can with this product. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to the eyes. So first I like to comb out the brows, and then I like to lay down my Soft Ochre paint pot. This is just going to ensure that the shadow lasts all day and also conceal any veins or redness, anything that we don't want to see in the eyelid area. For this, I'm using a Zoeva brush, and I can't remember the name of it, but I am loving these brushes. They're not only beautiful, but they're super practical for makeup artistry. Using the Anastasia brow wax, we're going to go ahead and fill in the brows just to help them look a little bit fuller, and it's also going to help the brow powder to adhere to the brows. Using the brow powder duo in blonde, I'm going to go ahead and fill in Kristin's brows, trying to get them to look as full and detailed as possible, just because we really want her expressions to show up throughout the night. Now I'm going to brush through those brows one more time just to make sure everything's nice and blended, and set them with the Anastasia clear brow gel just to make sure they don't go anywhere and they last all night. Now we're going to go in with Soft Brown from MAC and just take this into the crease. Next, I'm going to use Naked Lunch and just tap this all over her lid just to help kind of lighten and brighten everything. We're going to go in with some darker colors after, but I wanted to go ahead and set down something nice and light. Lighter colors you use underneath are also going to help with blendability, which is wonderful. And then I'm going to go ahead and go in with Bamboo and just add to that crease color and really soften it up and diffuse it down into the lid. Next, I'm taking the color Mylar on her brow bone just to help make those pop and lift her eyebrows a little bit. This just also really completes the look as well. Now I'm using the shade Embark, and I'm going to start to carve out her outer V and just add a little bit of depth and drama to the look. This is one of my favorite colors for brides. I start off with just a little bit and then I slowly build it. I'm using the MAC 217 brush. This is one of my favorites just for more concentrated blending. And then I go back in with my fluffy brush and blend it out some more. That's going to be the trick to keeping everything nice and smooth and seamless when doing bridal makeup, but any smoky eye for that matter. I like to reapply the light shades. Just applying shadows in layers is going to help them last a lot longer. And adding some more Embark on that outer V. We're just going to continue this process where we're building all these colors. Now I'm taking my NYX Trace pencil and just lining her tight line and her waterline. I feel like everybody should do this. It's so beautiful. Typically, I would use a waterproof mascara, but since we're just at home and she hopefully won't be doing any crying, I'm just using my lash accelerator because it has a nice brush and I can get right in there and get all of her lashes. Poor thing, I made her eyes water like so bad with the tight line lining. Now we're going to conceal, and I'm going to use my Naked Skin concealer in Light Warm. And then I'm going to go in the places where I want it to transition into the foundation because she's pretty tan with light, medium, neutral. Now I'm going to do a fiber brush and just kind of start blending this out. The reason I use this blush is because I just really want to get everything nice and diffused. I don't want there to be too much concealer just because it's not as photogenic as the foundation. And so I want to make sure that I'm diffusing everything out really nicely. Now going in with a more dense brush, I'm going to go ahead and blend away any creases. I'm now doing a little bit of extra spot treatment with a concealer that is closer to her skin tone, but still meshes with the concealer really nicely just because we want to make sure her skin's looking flawless and even. I like to go back in with a foundation brush just to blend everything together and make sure everything's looking nice and even. She might be looking a little over highlighted right now, but it's okay. We're going to go in with some bronzer and we'll warm everything up in a second. Now I'm going to smoke out her lower lash line using that Bamboo shade and a Sigma pencil brush. Using a flat definer brush from Luxie, I'm going to take that in Bark shade and just drag that along her lower lash line to really help define the lower lash line and really make her eyes pop. Next, we're going to apply some false lashes. These are the Red Cherry number 43 lashes. These have to be some of my favorites for brides. They just have so much drama, but they're romantic and beautiful, and I just think they're the perfect lash for brides. I don't know. I can't get over it. So now we're going to go ahead and powder those areas that we just concealed to make sure they don't move. And I'm going to use this cream blush in Peony from Stila. Again, layering is going to create a look that will not fade throughout the night. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a cream blush, and then I'm going to layer a powder blush on top. And then I'm using this bronzer from Becca. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's really pretty. I really like it. I'm using the matte shade just to bronze the outsides of her face. And I'm not doing like a super sharp contour or anything like that. I want to keep the look really soft and natural. I'm going to take a little bit more of that bronzing shade and just carve out her cheeks a little bit more. Like I said, I didn't want to do anything super dramatic, but I did want to give her some definition. This is Songbird blush from Becca, and it's absolutely gorgeous for brides, so I'm just going to go ahead and tap that on her cheeks. And then I'm blending everything together with a large duo fiber brush from Sigma. Now I am taking Milk Chocolate Soleil, and I'm going to contour out her nose. I let her smell it because it smells like cocoa, and it's so delicious, but this is just like a little Luxie fluff brush, and I'm just adding some definition and color back into the center of her face. Now using my favorite highlight of life and a new MAC brush, I'm going to go ahead and just highlight all the high points of her face. We just want her to have that glowing bridal look. And this is Champagne Pop from Becca, in case you didn't know. And it's stunning. I bought myself a backup for all my brides because I'm obsessed with it. Now I'm going to go ahead and line on top of her false lashes with my gel liner. Who knows what we're laughing about, but I'm just going to go ahead and cover up that lash band. We just don't want anything showing. I'm not going to do like a crazy wing or anything like that. I just want to make sure that these lashes are blending in. So I'm just going to take Black Track from MAC and drag that across her lash line. I'm also going to go ahead and take the shade Embark and just press a little bit of this powder on top of the black gel liner, just to soften that black liner a little bit. It's also going to help to set the liner. Now I am taking East End Snob from Rimmel London and lining her lips. I'm going to go ahead and paint the color Hue on to her lips and just blend it into the lip liner. I'm using a lip brush for this just so that I can add multiple layers but also keep it nice and precise. I love this color for brides. I think it's so pretty, especially brides who have like blonde hair. I just think it's so pretty. And then to create a little bit more volume in her lips, I'm going to use the shade Bare All by Maybelline. I haven't found another shade that reminds me of this, and I'm so crazy about it. I just like to paint it into the center of the lips to help make them look bigger and give them that really subtle ombre effect, but I just think it's so bridal and beautiful. Now it's time for her hair, and I just had Kristin pick out a style she liked on Pinterest. There were no promises that I could do exactly that, but I definitely try my best. And here we are being really awesome together. We're super special, but yeah, don't worry about it. I am going to go ahead and try to mimic one of those looks and add a headband in there just to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to start off with some dry shampoo. Not that her hair was super dirty, but this is just going to add a little bit of volume and make her hair a little bit easier to work with. So I'm just working that through. And I'm talking a lot because I thought that this video was recording sound and it wasn't. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and spray her hair and curl it with a 1-inch curling iron, or maybe this is 3/4 inch curling iron. I can't remember what size this is, but I'm going to start off by curling all of the hair. This makes me wish I could go this fast in real life. Could you imagine if that's all it took and boom, your hair was curled and done? Be so awesome. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and back comb her hair just to add a little bit of volume, and I'm going to work my way down to the nape of her neck. I just want to add a lot of volume where I'm going to be putting that side pony, and then I also wanted to touch up some of the curls just because I want to have as much definition as possible before I start pulling the hair up and trying to create the full bun look. I was trying to figure out where she wanted her part or how we should do it, and she just told me to pick, so I picked parting it over to the right. And I'm going to get that headband into place and pull some of the hair forward just so that we have some hair to work with in the front of the headband and it doesn't look so like slicked back or stuck to her head. We want volume. Now I'm going to start the French braid, and I'm taking hair from either side of the headband because I want to give it like this really awesome like embedded headband effect. And so I'm just going to start my French braid and just pick up little pieces along the way. And it's okay if it's not perfect. That's kind of the whole point of this, is creating kind of like a messy, effortless look. Once I use my index finger to kind of separate that top layer and get the part that I'm going to put in a pony, I use just a clear hair tie and secure that nice and tight at the nape of her neck. I'm then going to take some blonde hair extensions and just clip these around the ponytail in a round shape. The reason we left some hair out on top is just to cover up the extension. So now I'm going to get the headband where I want it and kind of pull out all the little hairs, get everything nice and neat in the front, and then I'm going to be back combing and twirling and pinning the curls into place just to cover up the extensions but also add as much volume as possible. So now it's just going to be a matter of taking little pieces and doing this all the way throughout all of her hair. And then once I reach a certain point, I'm going to pull the braid around underneath of where I want my bun to be and secure it as well. If there's any hair that's not curled the way you want it or not going the way you want it, you can always comb it out and then just re-curl it to really get that ringlet shape that you want in order to pin it and just create really beautiful volume within your bun. And then you just continue pinning until you get this. And I went ahead and pulled out a few hairs just to really frame her face and kind of soften up the look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and learned something awesome. To all of you brides out there, congratulations, and I will see you guys in my next video.